This presentation is brought to you by Keaton Smeller and Maya Ricci, and shout out to Mr. Sarvi.
Louis Hine. In the United States, Louis Wickes Hine, born September 26, 1874, died November 3, 1940, was an American sociologist and muckraker photographer whose photographs helped spur the passage of America's first child labor laws. In the early 1900s, about 18% of all children aged 10 to 15 were working. Hine's pictures of these children changed how the people viewed child labor and led to laws against it. Here we can see Hine's photography. Louis Hine's mission was to demonstrate that children's working conditions were dangerous. In 1909, at a textile mill in Georgia, he discovered that some of the workers were so young that they had to crawl into the machinery to repair broken threads. In West Virginia, a 14-year-old coal miner had his legs cut off by a motor car inside a mine. Louis Hine photographed him in 1910. In 1911, Louis Hine met these young workers at a glass factory in Alexandria. Hine rarely took photos of black children who were typically not allowed to work alongside the white children he photographed. Marie Costa, on the left, had been selling baskets on the streets for 11 hours when Louis Hine photographed her at 9 p.m. with her sister and a friend in Cincinnati.
Louis Hine impacted child labor laws. Through his exercise in 1916, Congress passed the Nett-Owens Act that established the following child labor law standards. No one could work under the age of 14 for manufacturers and the age of 16 for minors. The max workday was 8 hours a day. No one under the age of 16 could work a night shift. By 1920, the number of child laborers was cut to nearly half of what they had in 1910. If you really want to understand Mr. Hine and his reasoning behind all of his photography, you must look at his quotes. According to photographproject.uk, it states, "Perhaps you are weary of child labor pictures. Well, so are the rest of us. But we propose to make you and the whole country so sick and tired of the whole business that when the time for action comes, child labor pictures will be records of the past." On a lighter note from Louis Hine, he quotes, "If I could tell the story in words, I wouldn't need to look around a camera," end quote. Another quote states, "While photographs may not lie, liars may photograph," making a person believe that sometimes there were people out there trying to show that the labor laws weren't as harsh and people needed to stop worrying about them. Another quote from Mr. Louis Hine, it states, "There are two things I wanted to do. I wanted to show the things that needed to be corrected. I wanted to show the things that needed to be appreciated." Another quote from Louis Hine that really puts light on what most employers were thinking when having these child labors. It states, "There is work that profits children, and there is work that brings profit only to employers. The objective of employing children is not to train them, but to get high profits from their work." So the question still remains, why does Mr. Hine belong to the MHF? This is because he felt so strongly about the abuse that children had endured during these jobs. Mr. Hine would travel the country taking photos of the working conditions that children would endure in all types of industries. He believed if people could see for themselves the abuses and injustices of child labor, they would demand laws to end all of these hateful acts. One of the many things that Mr. Louis Hine and the National Child Labor Committee had fought against was a declaration called the Declaration of Dependence by the Children of America in mines and factories and workshops assembled. In this declaration it states, "Whereas, so children of America and declared to have been born and free and equal, and whereas we yet to bondage in this land of the free, are forced to toil this long day or long night, with no control over the conditions of labor, as to health or safety of hours or wage, and with no right to the reward of service. Therefore be it. That childhood is involved with certain point inherent and inalienable rights, which among are freedom from toil of daily bread, the right to play and dream, and the right to normal sleep of the night season, the right to an education, that we may have equal of opportunity for developing all there is in us of mind and heart. In this declaration, it pretty much says that the children need to give up their lives, give up everything for this job. It should not matter if they're tired, if they're hungry, or want to do anything else. Their devotion should only be towards their work. This gives evidence of Louis Hine's life experience with being a protester against child labor laws and why he should be part of the MHS.